Okay, in this final video, we're going to look at how GEMS can save time in the general classroom, from bell ringers to assessments and everything in between. So go to Gemini in Google Classroom Dashboard, go to GEMS, and as I said, I created these ahead of time. And the more specific, the better the prompt, um, the better response you're going to get. And it's like a conversation, so you can keep refining what you want Gemini to do for you. So I use figurative language. Being an English teacher, I'm doing a lesson on figurative language. And here are the different prompts that I asked Gemini and the responses that I got. And all of this can be inserted into Google Classroom for the students to use. So the first thing I asked was to create a bell ringer for middle school ELA class on figurative language. All right, so basically we're introducing the topic. Take out your ELA notebook and a pen or pencil. You have 5 minutes to complete the task below. Work quietly on your own. So read sentences 1 through 4. Match each sentence to the correct type of figurative language from the word bank. All right, so this is a nice introduction to what we're going to be doing. All right, and it even has a second part where they're creating on their own, and it gives me an answer key as well. Secondly, I said summarize this article into 3 key bullet points. And I had an article from the Poetry Foundation on figurative language. All I had to do was put in the URL, not copy the whole article. Again, you could see the way it's breaking down my prompt and the content that I gave it. So examining the URL content, accessing and reading it, processing it, crafting a summary, identifying key ideas, and here are the 3 bullet points. Okay, so that's another way to introduce and get into the figurative language lesson. Next, I asked it to generate 5 quiz questions at depth of knowledge levels 1 through 3 on the topic of figurative language. And again, it's showing the way it's thinking, and it has level 1, level 2, and level 3. Okay. And so, as you know, the depth of knowledge levels, each level 1, recall and identify. So that's a very simple one. And then it gets hotter as it goes. All right. Now, I asked it to make a quiz, and it was an interactive quiz. It came up with an interactive quiz. And I couldn't access, I had trouble accessing it. So I asked it to redo it. But anyhow, you can keep going on back and forth with it. As I said, it's a conversation. So it gave me a quiz here that I could copy and put into Google Classroom, or the interactive quiz, which for some reason I lost when I asked it to redo the quiz. Usually everything you say to Gemini and in GEMS and in Gemini in general will be there. And I could ask it again to create an interactive quiz, but I decided to move on. So I'm going to use the quiz that it gave me. I'm just going to copy it, or you can, even for students who have audio in their IEPs, they could listen to it. You could share it, export it to docs. There's lots of different ways to put this into Google Classroom. And then after that, I asked it to align these questions to a Common Core standard. Now, I put a science and technology standard to see what it would say, and it picked up on it. Okay, it said that it doesn't align. It doesn't align because there is one strong alignment, but generally partial alignment and strong alignment. Um, this isn't the standard that would go with this lesson. So then I put the real standard, and as you can see, it does say how it aligns. Now, thinking back on this, I would put the standard alignment in the same prompt where I asked it to create the quiz. So it would do both in one shot. Um, and then I asked it to make an extension activity for early finishers. You always have those kids that finish early. I like to have them read because it's an English class and they should always have an independent reading book. But this is something else that students can do. So, extension activity for early finishers, and it created that. And again, there are millions of ways that you could use this, but those are just a few in the general classroom. And I encourage you to just explore and try different things. Thank you for paying attention.